Welcome families to the 2023 Pasco Pathways Expo. We are so excited for you to join us, and we can't wait for you to hear all the amazing things that make Pineview Elementary such a great magnet school and an option for your child. This is Pasco County's theory of action, which includes data-driven decisions, collaborative culture, and high-impact instruction, three things that the primary years program fall in line with, as well as creating a vision of instructional excellence. Again, Pasco County's common vision of instructional excellence contains components that fit right along with our primary years program, specifically taking ownership of learning, thinking critically, building content knowledge, and collaboration. At Pineview Elementary, this is our mission statement. As you can see by the highlighted blue words, that these are aspects that we put a lot of emphasis on in the primary years program, which is building knowledge and skills, creating lifelong learners that are inquisitive, collaborative, and reflective in order for them to become globally minded, empowered, and take action. A little background on the primary years program. It is located in 109 countries. 578 of them are in the United States and only 46 in Florida. Pineview Elementary is the first authorized IB primary years program in Pasco County. Two components of the primary years program that we think are very important is that there is quality assurance through regular IB evaluations and visits from the International Baccalaureate Organization, as well as required ongoing professional development for staff. Therefore, we as staff members are required to be learners and lifelong learners so that we model what we preach to students. Who we are at Pineview Elementary, we are located in Land O'Lakes. We have approximately 566 students with gifted and students with disabilities in inclusion classrooms. That means they are in basic education classrooms. We do have special education units that are for students with more severe disabilities, as well as pre-K Head Start. We do have an IB authorized feeder pattern, so if your child attends Pineview Elementary School, they would be a part of the primary years program. If they move across the street to the middle school for 6 through 8, they are part of the middle years program. And if they would like to continue on in the IB track, they can attend Land O'Lakes High School and go through the diploma program. Our journey here at Pineview began in 2016 as we explored what it meant to become an IB school. We were a candidate school for 2 years, becoming authorized in 2019 after a 2-day site visit from International Baccalaureate Organization. And then for the last few years, we have been an authorized IB primary years program. This current school year and next year, we are in a self-evaluation year, which means that we are evaluating our implementation of the IB framework, as well as we will have another site visit from the International Baccalaureate Organization in March of 2024. Here are those components broken down even further. As you can see under the learner, you'll see things like action, learner profile, attributes, and agency. Under learning and teaching, you'll see concepts like transdisciplinary learning, inquiry, assessments, and language. And under the learning community, you'll see things like collaboration, technology, and a community of learners. So how does the primary years program work? Well, it is a philosophy and a framework. It is not a specific curriculum. So that means there's a lot left for teachers and students to create together. So the concept of the primary years program is for students and teachers to co-construct learning by doing. The purpose of the primary years program is to have an instructional philosophy and framework for students in pre-K through 5th grade. The inquiry approach to planning and teaching involves students and teachers working together to co-construct learning. We integrate all subjects together under one large, broad concept so students can see how learning is connected instead of learning in subject-specific silos. We also put an emphasis on being internationally minded and taking action within their self, the community, and the world. So what does it mean for students to become internationally minded? We want students to be nurturing and developing and caring active participants in their lifelong journey of learning. The first step in doing this is helping students understand what it means to have agency. So in the short version of this, that means voice, choice, and ownership in learning. So for voice, students are asked to co-construct learning by giving their wonderings to their teacher about concepts that are going to be required to be taught. That way, students feel like what they're actually curious about will be folded into the required curriculum. Students then have choice in how they sometimes demonstrate that learning. As individuals, we all have different learning styles and we all have different strengths and stretches. And so having choice in how you demonstrate your learning gives students a little bit more agency over their knowledge. And then, of course, ownership. We ask students to create goals, we ask students to reflect on their goals, and then we ask students to do something with the learning. At the heart of the primary years program is the 10 learner profile attributes. These are defined as what students would display to show that they are being internationally minded. So how do students deepen their knowledge of the learner profile attributes? They do that through school events and common language. We use the 10 learner profile attributes throughout the entirety of the school. We make connections to text in the real world. So we look for real world examples as well as text-based examples of people displaying the 10 learner profile attributes. And we also ask students to reflect and goal set. So what does it mean to design for inquiry? Well, we integrate subjects connected through a broad concept and a central idea. We support, encourage, and create space for natural curiosities to occur. We extend our thinking through independent application. We apply our learning to real-world situations, and we focus on student wonderings. So how do students make global and community connections? Through taking action in the school and community, by community and family connections of learning, and inquiring into regional and global problems. How do students take their learning further? Through action. We use real-world application learning that gives students voice and choice. They take field trips both in person and virtually. We use simulations, and we encourage to give back to help others. So is the primary years program right for your child? Ask yourself the questions below. Do you want your child to be an inquirer, to develop international mindedness, to experience Spanish every week as a second language opportunity, and to see interconnectedness within learning?